I do a word of the day on the show. I started, you know, thinking about it. First of all, there was another show that was on Urban View that did a word of the day with another host who's no longer here, and that producer also works on this show. And they were like, "Why don't you bring that back?" Because there's like a 30 million or 3 million word gap in our community with young people. There's always kids in the car with their parents. There
Right.
are people who literally don't know words, and that's not your fault, right? So I was doing these words that were really complicated that I don't use every day. Like not what was it? Noctambulant, which is to walk at night. Noctambulant, right? As a person that walks at night. Yeah.
Wow.
So I was
Okay.
like, yeah, I might be, might be out there walking at night. So now we have a word for that. But I was like, what about regular words like compromise? Right.
Hmm.
So play the word.
Compromise.
Compromise. Everyone uses the word, right? But I think it's important, as I read the four agreements, to be impeccable with your words, which means you need to really understand the meaning. So I went to the store today because there was I bought something and the top was compromised. And I said, but
Hmm.
we also use that word when we talk about, like, if you want to go to movies on Friday, I want to go on Saturday. We're going to compromise, maybe go on Sunday. And it's not the ideal day for both of us,
Right.
but we're going to compromise because we're in relationship with each other. And if I can bend a little and you can bend a little and we can agree to this, but compromise is about agreement, but it's also, you compromise your standards. It's also, compromise can be used to say, I'm compromising, I'm lowering my standard.
Right.
I'm compromising my character or my integrity to be with you. So there's many different ways. I feel like we need to command this thing that they've shoved into us in a way that we can use these words, because words become flesh. So I'm going to start sprinkling in words like compromise that we use all the time, but do we really use it? Because I hear young people talk about, feel me, you feel me, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, you know what I'm saying, you feel me, but they don't know how to express themselves with the litany of words that we have at our disposal, the myriad words that we can use in our lexicon. We don't do it.
And it's because, Karen, most of us don't know these words. Most of us don't know words. And some of us are actually using certain words in order to escape the truth of the real word you want.
That part. Say more. Say more,
When
Dr.
people say
Pastor.
things like, "Oh, I'm compromising my standard," that's not what you mean. You mean sabotage. You're not compromising because you're not in negotiation with your standard. You're sabotaging it. You're undermining it. See, people are hiding behind these words in order not to have to fully swallow the real truth of what's really facing them, right? When someone says, "Well, let's you and I compromise," well, you're not compromising, you're negotiating. See, see, if people don't really understand these words, especially if people don't understand words, then not only are you not communicating, but actually manipulation is really what's happening all the time. And it's happening all the time because I cannot simply say the truth. For example, I cannot simply admit, you know what, I'm jealous of you. I can't say that. That's too much vulnerability. That puts my heart out there. So instead of simply saying I'm jealous of you, I'll say things like, um, we have unmitigated tension.
Wait, when was the last time you used that phrase? Because I don't think I've ever used that phrase.
See, people
Ever.
because people want the sound more than the worth of the meaning,
Mm.
right? And this is so important because the beauty of language is that you really articulate the exactitude of what the heart feels, of what the heart means. Most people don't want to articulate the fullness of the heart because it's too much vulnerability, it's too much nakedness.
So there's a book called The Dictionary of Emotions that I'm about to download and read because I'm doing this 40-day year. So my next 40 days, that's on my list, right? I'm thinking about Chelsea. What is it? She does something with emotions with children and helping them find the words to express themselves. Because once you can find the word, and I'm talking to you as a wordsmith, as a prolific writer, as I am, right? So words fascinate me. But they,
Absolutely. Oh, me
I'm
too.
listening to the American Prometheus and I'm in the dictionary. Like, okay, I know the word, but let me know the word. Let me know the etymology. When we watch the
Mhm.
spelling bee, what's the origin? But
That's
it's
right.
deeper to me than the origin. I want to know the country, but there's certain words. particularly in African dialects and languages that don't exist in
That's
English
right.
because they don't have a word for orphan or widow, because
That's
the
right.
community is always taking care of somebody. So we we have the closest thing to it, but it doesn't exist because that doesn't exist in a space where everybody's somebody's child or mother or daughter or wife
Right.
or husband. So words are so powerful, but I
Powerful.
feel like the communication, like I was miscommunicating with people based on my biases, based
Uh-huh.
on Chelsea Elliott. Thank you, studio. I think that's Amina. Based on my insecurities around race and racism, because I'm inundated with it, I'm going to make an assumption about people that's wrong, and then I don't have the words to express it, right? But I
Absolutely.
do because I have
Right.
words. So
Right.
I had to have a conversation with myself with these words to arrive at what I was really feeling, which was maybe a rejection, not just for me, but for all my people. Like I didn't want anyone to be rejected coming here. I wanted everyone to feel welcome and feel like kings and queens. That was my fear, and that was fear, right? So I had to acknowledge it and then deal with it. But like with words that you sit down to write, and this is why I wanted to have this conversation with you. Compromise. I'm like, that's a word, and I think about the Eartha Kitt video. She goes, compromise, compromise. I'm like, why would I do that? It's like,
Wow.
how do we use these words to better ourselves and the world around us? So
And,
like,
and in fact, let me tell you what's so profound about this, Karen Hunter. I mean, I really want to scream right now because I love words. I love words. I love phrases. I love word pairings, right? I love synonyms, though there really are no true synonyms. People use words as if they are synonyms, but they're not really synonyms. They're just synonyms because most people do not do precision of language. They do the gist. Like if you say a person is big, that's not the same size as if you say a person is gargantuan. See, that's not the same size. If a person is cosmic, they're not the same size as if they're large. See, it's not that. So those people use them as synonyms. But the reason it's a different word is because there's another level of meaning in it. Right? And the reason this is so important, Karen, I'm going to say this, and I want people to really hear me in radio land. If people really understood words and really had access to them and had the mastery of them, first of all, there would be no victimhood. Ooh, Karen Hunter on today. And here's why. Because what words would really teach a person is that every single thing you do, you're the subject of your sentence. When people say things like, so and so made me mad, that's because you don't really understand language. That's not true, they made you mad. The real sentence is, I have not mastered myself. That's the sentence. That's the sentence.
you made me hold my breath on that one.
That's the sentence. But see, since I don't like the meaning, the context, the lexiconical suggestion that sentence makes, I hide behind you made me mad. See, that's no, no, no. You stole from me. No, mm-mm, mm-mm, no. The
That's
real sentence is, I gave to you carelessly.
ooh, yo.
See, why? Because then you are forever empowered. The point of language is to empower you, not for you to state how somebody else has power over you. The point of language is for you to be empowered. And if you ever understand language and if you ever get it, language is ultimately trying to get you out of the passive voice as they teach and into the active voice. In other words, make sure that the subject of the sentence perform the action of the verb.
Oh,
Not somebody stole from me. No. Mm-mm. 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 Somebody pissed me off. No. 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 My maturity was poor today.
ooh. Mm,
Mhm.
yep. Yes.
Because that's what language seeks to do. Language seeks to keep you the subject of your destiny.
I don't even know what to do with that. I'll, the anointing is all I want to say. Dr. Daniel Black, The Coming, Black on Black, 12 Gates to the City, Perfect Peace, The Sacred Place, Don't Cry for Me. They tell me of a home, listen to the lambs, Black on Black. I said that already. The Second Coming is coming. Dr. Daniel Black, Dr. Daniel Black is where you can follow him. He teaches as well. He teaches at Clark Atlanta. Y'all had some
Atlanta
flood
University.
situation we're not gonna get into. Mind my business on that. The HBCUs, shout out, get your infrastructure together is
Yeah.
all I'll say. Y'all got a lot of that Mackenzie Scott money. Uh, take care of the children. Make sure their food is good and that their housing is solid. They're putting a lot of money into these HBCUs. Presidents, I'm talking to y'all directly. Stop. Don't be like these other institutional organizations and just take the money for the things that you want. Serve these children that
That's
are coming there to learn.
Right.
That should be first and foremost. If
That's
the kids
right.
aren't good, nothing else matters, right?
That's
Because
right.
that's how you have a university to begin
Right.
with.
That's right.
That's it. That's where you are. Clark Atlanta for the last 30 years almost, teaching the children, and amazing. Okay. I had to let people know where to find you.
Yeah, 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 yeah. I run my fingers through her hair as she smiles and says that she loves me. Isn't it lovely when the one you're lusting